Hey there, everyone. I've been home about 12 hours, and now it's time for me to share a week's worth of. From the 23rd of June to July 1st. I first started with this letter. Dear Dublin Springs Administrator, number 1. Being harassed with lies on YouTube proves my beliefs are facts and not delusions because A. Secret Service would not lie about someone's medical and arrest records. B. The real Secret Service would not gossip about one neighbor to another. C. Imposters fooled my neighbor into believing they are real Secret Service. The police refused to help set the record straight with my neighbor, so she goes around repeating the lies with false government authority, committing the crime of impersonating a federal officer. And number 2, the stay of detention paperwork has an error, my current address, on page 4. You are illegally holding me, and I am requesting you release and discharge me immediately. Robert E. Milligan IV. It's in my records, which I will be receiving through the mail soon. June 27th, 2022. Yesterday, I was believed by a number of doctors and staff about what's going on Midgard Road. I hope that belief continues today. As the patient advocate said, someone from the legal department would speak with me, and my probate lawyer would be visiting me today. Michael Bova is a complete asshole for believing what he does and dismissing all the facts, just like the brain witches do. So far, it seems they are different here. Only time will tell. This morning I had a double serving of French toast and triple serving of sausage and coffee. Then came the half-hour wait for a cigarette. That's all that happens in these hellholes. You wait for things to happen to you. You have no rights or control over anything. And your fate is at the whim of what someone else thinks. The last 7 years of my life has been projected by what one woman or a group of small people thinks. And it's ruined everything in my life. At 10 a.m., I attended music therapy, thinking I could tell at least one more person about the video being harassed with lies on YouTube, to spread the word that I need legal help to deal with conflict in my neighborhood the police are unwilling to address because I have a history of drug use. The actual therapy was non-existent, and instead We had a medical certified DJ play requests to pass the time. People got up, left, arrived, and the whole scene reminded me of a neighborhood bar with songs about getting wasted to forget about reality for a while. Party in the USA, Crimson and Clover, and when it was my turn, the question was, what song do you play on repeat? I said Pennies from Heaven by Sarah Vaughan. It is my belief in the universal truth that there is enough wealth for everyone in the selfish and greedy world we live in. And if they are made to share by government, we can all live a more prosperous life. In America today, government doesn't stand up for the people, and it will be the destroying of the government itself because it broke the rules and ignored more rules, our Constitution. Government could save itself by doing what it's supposed to. Instead, it projects outcomes for people dead set on a depopulation agenda, caring for nobody. Everyone's help legally is tied to my using or not, which creates a tiered system of justice where people using remain victims of crime and laws do not apply to people who use drugs. This is reinforced by a police department that does not take crime seriously if it happens to drug users and creates an existence for people of being rightless in a lawless land. The police, through their inaction and telling of what they believe, mutes my voice, making my claims moot, even though they are the truth. The executive branch's ability to discriminate on which cases they choose to take on or not should be illegal, but it's not. With as much documentation as I've provided about crime, I've been the victim of. Their inaction means the crimes continue, and I am never free. Because of the number of hospitalizations, someone is guilty of abuse of power. The natural go-to is the devil organization that has authorized them with their probate documents, Netcare. Needless to say, many claims in their own narratives are false. The most damning is their statements of delusions surrounding V2K and RNM, remote neural monitoring. Well, it It turns out the Dublin Springs is not going to save me or defend my rights. I was presented with a new set of probate court papers by the bailiff this afternoon, and the disappointing words of Dr. Nahar sting like a bee, twisting the urgency to get the pain and suffering to stop as being paranoid. And the documents for forced medication was the new probate court document. As the bailiff laughed, he missed the door, but he heard me say, "Fuck you." Because I told him that the address that I currently reside at was wrong on the form, on the first form. He made it a point to come back in and he said, "Thank you," which probably means for me that he's now out to get me. I attended a rush psychotherapy session because she had a meeting at 2:30. The session was on self-compassion. I have no problem caring for myself. I just wish others did too. Their unwillingness to see the truth of my situation keeps me a prisoner, and all my public efforts to get help go unheard. Getting this criminal matter resolved is the only obstacle in my life, and it affects the rest of my life. Patty, the do-gooder from hell, is going to wish she never crossed paths with me. Her alignment with the police and telling of false things backed by false authority is going to get her into a lot of trouble. So, the trap of the brain witch, the genocide executioner of the free population, is entrapment. Once you are under their power and control, you don't get out until you take their toxic medicine, backed by narratives of observation with no medical testing to justify the lethal doses. They have a license to kill and collect money doing the dirty work of the government, entrapping young, free adults caught, quote, doing drugs who end up living lives of horror forever after. Psychiatry is the jail for users. I met with another representative of the probate court this afternoon and voiced my